flight delays as LPIA's control tower goes on the fritz this morning. Police taking a no-nonsense approach to traffic offenders.
We have intensified our efforts.
Officers investigating the third murder this weekend. The government considering an over-the-counter HIV test. Chrissy Love returns to talk radio.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Reality Check. This town needs a reality check.
Plus soccer players kick for a cure.
General cancer, not just a specific cancer.
I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. Thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us. Today, traffic at Lynden Pindling International Airport was at a standstill for the entire morning and some of the afternoon after a lightning strike caused a disruption in the air traffic control's messaging system. According to the director of Bahamas Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Pat Roll, no flights were able to depart from or arrive at Lpia. Our news team was in North Eleuthera this weekend, and what you're seeing on your screen is that crowded airport as travelers waited for hours to depart. One plane even had to turn around and head back into North Eleuthera Airport. Roll said that the engineering department got the system back up and running just before 3 this afternoon, and delays were expected to clear up around 4 p.m. When we spoke to him, Roll could not say exactly what time the system went down because a full report would not be delivered until air traffic control cleared the backed up flights. Roll said that travelers should not expect any major delays to evening flights. Well, news from the crime beat, a 33-year-old man is the country's latest murder victim. According to officers in Grand Bahama, the man was shot several times at East Indianman Road West near Spoonbill Loop around 4:23 yesterday afternoon. Officers responded to a call of gunshots in that area and found the body of a man lying on the northern side of the East Indianman Road with multiple gunshot wounds to the body. Officers at the Central Detective Unit on that island are leading the investigation into the unidentified man's death. However, up to airtime, the motive and circumstances surrounding the incident were unknown. This is the fourth murder since Monday and the third in a 24-hour period this weekend. The homicide count now stands at 72. A 31-year-old man of Soldier Road has been arrested for questioning with reference to a rape that occurred Saturday night, according to police, who said the suspect was arrested around 9:14 last night in the Montel Heights area. In recent weeks, the police force has been criticized for not reporting rape matters to the public. The outrage came after police revealed that there could be serial rapists on the loose after a string of home invasions and rapes throughout New Providence. Wanted bulletins for several men were released last month. At last report, 5 men were arrested for those matters. Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade told NB12 recently that he has dedicated additional resources to investigate the string of rapes and to get prolific offenders off the streets. Well, the Royal Bahamas Police Force's Traffic Division cracking down on speeding in a campaign that will see random speed checks conducted across New Providence. Over the past few weeks, officers have been targeting motorists who drive dangerously, carelessly, or over the speed limit. Our Charisma Robinson tagged along for one of the operations and tells us all about the campaign in this report.
Prompting this effort are the recent deaths of 3 young people who were killed in horrific traffic accidents. One of the victims was just 16 years old. As of Friday, there were 23 traffic fatalities in this country.
Officer in charge of the Police Traffic Division, Superintendent Ken Strawn, says any loss of life or serious injury on our roads is unacceptable, and they will remain focused on improving road safety in the Bahamas.
This morning, we had an incident on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway near to Burger King, where 2 Bahamian individuals were traveling in a vehicle which the driver lost control, overturned. Our jaws of life had to be used to extricate the persons from that vehicle. Any area that we find to be that we are having challenges with, we have been targeting and intend to continue to target. Speed has certainly been a factor in a number of those incidents, in particularly the last ones which occurred here in New Providence. As I had indicated, on the Samala Butler Highway. Notably, speed was a factor in both of those incidents. We have had a vehicle that was overturned on Marshall Road where a young lady lost her life. Evident by the damages to that vehicle, speed was a factor.
Now, officers say they are taking a no-excuse approach to enforcement in their effort to drive down the number of crashes and fatalities. On Friday, our news team got a first-hand look at one of those speed check operations on West Bay Street where scores of motorists were cited for breaking that thoroughfare's 35-mile-per-hour speed limit. Superintendent Strawn explains how officers are able to catch these accused offenders.
That laser is focused directly at that single vehicle. Unlike the radar gun, where it picked up mass, more than one vehicles, it picks up a single vehicle behind, the front, on the side of other oncoming vehicles. And it's locked in, and there's also a range which determines at the point at which this trigger is activated. When that speed is above that, it emits a signal. And when that speed is determined, it's locked in. The individual, having been stopped, is shown where they were in terms of their distance and the speed that had been calculated, and obviously issued a citation.
So far this year, the force has issued 13,000 traffic citations. Strawn says that number shows that there are still far too many road users willing to ignore speed limits, and these people put others at risk. Using that speed detector, police have stopped 500 people who have exceeded the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit.
We have intensified our efforts. Like the incident which we held on Coral Harbour Road just a few days ago. There was one such person who was clocked at 81 miles per hour. And today, thus far, we have already stopped some 50 plus persons.
Now, if you happen to be on a road without a speed limit sign, you are required by law to travel at 30 miles per hour. Police have warned that drivers caught speeding will get anything from a fixed penalty notice to a summons to attend court. Strawn says motorists will have to dish out hundreds or even thousands of dollars for speeding tickets.
A person driving at a speed beyond that of, for example, the speed that we mentioned, 80 miles per hour, there's another offense. Driving at a speed dangerous to the public, which under that section carries a $5,000 penalty. And so, we just want to again advise you, motorists, that we, the officers from the Traffic Division, will be relentless in our commitment to ensure that we maintain law and order on our streets, and by extension, reduce the amount of serious mishaps that we're having out there, and encouraging you not to drink and drive.
Now, during this campaign, police will also be paying very close attention to motorcyclists who are putting people's lives at risk due to excessive speed. You can also now log on to the government's website at www.bahamas.gov.bs to pay traffic tickets. Reporting for NB12, I'm Charisma Robinson.
Well, in other news, at that Free National Movement conclave we told you about yesterday, party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis dismissed the notion that his party may not be prepared whenever Prime Minister Perry Christie calls the North Abaco by-election. Minnis has already selected 4 Abaconians for if and when a by-election is called, but he could not say when the choices will be narrowed down. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham decided to give up his long-held North Abaco seat following the FNM's crushing defeat at the May 7th polls.
We are a democratic organization. We have 4 individuals. There's a process in terms of selection. Those 4 individuals will be presented to the candidates committee, and from there a determination would be made. We are a very proactive party, so that is not an issue. Just like we're preparing now for the next election in 5 years, we would be well prepared and ready for the by-election.
Minnis says he's pretty confident that his party will secure its seat.
It's just a matter of how wide our margin of victory would be. You must remember that each member in here is energized and is prepared to go to Abaco to ensure that we keep our seat. And I can assure you that whenever the Prime Minister calls that election, I personally will be moving to Abaco. So I apologize now to Kalani.
The deadline established by the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, or IRCA, for the Bahamas Telecommunications Company to submit a report regarding the network outages last month is fast approaching. The company is required to present information regarding that incident on Monday, that's tomorrow. The regulator requested that the communications company provide a detailed report on the blackout that occurred several weeks ago and expects to be informed of technical details of every point of failure. IRCA is also requiring that information be relayed on what triggered the outage, the steps taken to restore service, and the safeguards that will be taken. The regulator has also forbidden BTC from disposing of, destroying, or otherwise removing any documents related to the blackout for a period of 90 days before and following the incident. The action taken by IRCA is stemming from the countrywide blackout of BTC's services on June 18th, which left hundreds of thousands of customers without the essential services provided by the company. According to BTC, 300,000 prepaid mobile customers, 40,000 postpaid customers, and 100,000 landlines were impacted. Services were restored the following day.